Hello everyone, it's Gwathorn from Gwathorn's Games, and today I am running the champion on Heroic+2, and I'm starting a new series of Heroic+2 champion in Anduin Vale. So I have a level 120 champion, and I'll just pick up the first quest, which is from Legolas.
I see you received my father's request.
And I will start the process of heading in. Now, I'm level 120. I'll give you a quick idea of what the character is, and then I'll go into more detail as we go along. But basically speaking, running Heroic+2, I've got the area of effect damage, single target attacks and crits, raging blade damage, bracing attack heal, blade wall damage, adamant / invincible duration and unbreakable damage, battle frenzy cooldown, fight on crits, horn of Gondor, wild attack, sudden defense cooldown, which is really important, fear nothing cooldown, dire need cooldown, feral strikes, which gets rid of the corruptions on Eye of Sauron critters, and the character itself is running more or less 120 gear. There's some that are 118s and some 119s, but I won't upgrade those until I get to level 121. So because I'm running on level and I'm in Heroic+2, this is going to be quite difficult to start off with. So Anduin Vale is one of the, well, it's the hardest of the level 120 areas. Now I've got some general quests to pick up. Let's see if I've got some. Vale Badger would be a nice start, but I will actually choose something that actually has a quest associated with it. There's a couple of quests that you get to pick up, but the character itself is just about able to handle level 120 critters. So I'm in the process of, it's going to be an interesting start. So everything's 120. I want to get a few quests under my belt. So I've got myself a sequence that I'm going through, and I will describe it more as time goes on, but let's have some fun. Okay, so let's go. Sudden defense is necessary, so let's go through the sequence. Hopefully that sudden defense will come up pretty soon again. Oh, good. Need some extra healing. That was a big hit that I took. Okay, that's one. that's one. And I had already had to pop dire need and the fight on, and I've had to use the sudden defense twice. Battle frenzy, I've had to use adamant, I've had to use the horn of Gondor, I've had to use horn of champions, I've had to use bracing attack. So it's it is going to be interesting doing these on level. So I'll give you a look at what I've actually got for the character itself. I'm running Blueline. I've got the horn of champions. I decided not to go with sweeping repose, mainly because I've got Raging Blade and Blade Wall, which are well represented in yellow line. But I do have Dire Need. I am working on improving, getting more healing from Dire Need, and I'm working on the critical defense, parry, extra damage combinations around here. I ended up going with Second Wind purely and simply because occasionally I do need to restore my power. Okay, so as I said, I will get into more detail as we go along, but we have another biting Vale gnat swarm to try and take on the way to Grimborn. Okay, let's go for it. Get out of the Eye of Sauron. We'll have to kick Dire Need in probably, or I might get away without it. I did get away without it. Oh, that's good. Okay, so slightly different combinations that time. That time I pulled in the Ironfold Horn, which gives a 5-second stun, just to give myself a little bit more breathing room. As you can tell, this is definitely not easy. I've got the Eye of Sauron on me for another 2.5 minutes, so I might actually spend a little bit of time heading towards Beorning House. Pick up some Vale Skarn while I'm here. Wait for a few of the cooldowns to actually cool down, and then we will look at not a Vale Badger. I don't need a Vale Badger. Don't need a Vale Heart either. As you can tell, I'm having to throw pretty much everything at this. Oh, actually, for the next 10 minutes, I might actually get some extra vitality. I've Vale Heart. I don't need a Vale Heart. Another biting Vale Gnat Swarm. I'll go for another biting Gnat Swarm. And so you can see that I'm actually waiting for the let's see if I can get this one out. Got it. So as long as I've got some things on cooldown, I've actually been a bit lucky, I have to say. I would have expected to have been taken out by at least one of these gnat swarms. We've got another one coming up. Let's see how we go. I've got that coming on cooldown, and I've got another 15 seconds on that, so let's go for the sudden defense. We'll go for another one. Okay, let's go in. Go through the attacking combination. I need a bracing attack. Get that sudden defense back up again, because I can. Oh, I have Sauron's doing some healing, that'd be right. Run away for a bit. Head back in, Horn of Gondor's up. Dire Need is needed. Stun will be nice. bracing attack, please. We'll go for actual pot as well. And I've got to do a bit of removing off. You can see how much power I used in being able to do that. But this character is just about able to, well, it pretty much can handle normal creatures. One normal creature. As I'm going to go through the Vale of Anduin, here we're coming up to Beorning House. So a relatively eventful trip. Okay. Let's have a bit of a pace on that. So yes, managed to get to Beorning House, which is definitely one of the central locations, at least to start off with. So these are going to pick up all the quests here because I want to get to level 121 as fast as possible. Definitely set the milestone. Was in Mordor most recently. That one will do. So we now have a Beorning House quest set. Fate of Honeybell. And travel to Vegbar, so a vector quest. That's good. And we have Grimbeorn. And in the Vale of Anduin.
The darkness has spread across.
Talk to everyone.
Some days ago, I sent Hearthstone to the wood's edge with a wagon of provisions.
Another vector quest.
There is no return.
We live off the land, as we always have. Today is a good day.
Lavender. So these are all quests that are going to be around the area, around this area, which is going to be good. Now I enjoy the Vales of Anduin. It's actually quite difficult to do the first time I did it. I've done it with a burglar and I've done it with a Lawmaster on normal difficulties. So yes, I'll just.
Is there no end to our troubles?
So I've got some scouting to do, and while I'm in here, I'll actually have a look at the quest that's inside, which is Gandalf, which will be the vector quest to start heading.
Darkness has settled upon the Vales of Anduin. Can you not feel it?
Yeah. So that would start the Shades in the Swamp, which I will actually take because I will be taking on some Shades. Now, as you can see, I'm starting this.
My scouts report seeing strange lights.
I will pick up all these quests. So I'm starting on Heroic+2.
They will be the first affected.
Starting this on Heroic+2, I can just take out a white normal creature. As time goes on, as I level up slowly, I would expect that I will gradually be able to take on more creatures and more difficult creatures. So let's go out and start these. I'll take that one off the list. It's just a reference quest. So we have some lavender to pick up. Now, not going to be easy. none of these quests are going to be easy, especially at this point, and especially with Heroic+2 difficulty. But okay, so as I said, my starting gambit is to try and get sudden defense up, which, because I have got the sudden defense cooldown, which is a minus 13.5 seconds on the cooldown and an increase on the bubble, this actually has come down from 40 seconds down to 26 seconds. I could push it a little bit further, but I'm with a better tracery, but I'm not going to. 26 seconds is just as close to 25 seconds, which is what you'd get for teal tracery. It's the core of this build. The Battle Frenzy is very important because it allows me to use adamant and reduces incoming ranged and melee damage by 4%. Each fervor consumed increases defense by 4, decreasing incoming tactical damage by 2. So by using that in combination, it gives me a much better defense. The Horn of Gondor is a nice stun with a bit of drop in physical and tactical mitts, so it gives me some advantage. Horn of Champion drops the damage that they can do by 20%, and that's the core. I use Wild Attack just to home in, and then Sudden Defense, Battle Frenzy, Adamant, get all the way up to Horn of Champions. If I need to, I can drop in an Ironfold Horn if my health starts dropping too much. Dire Need is in there just purely and simply as a try and get back as much health as possible as during battle. Bracing Attack restores a third of my morale, which means if I notice it and I've got the time, I can hit Bracing Attack to get my health back. These three, Wild Attack, Feral Strikes, removes corruption on target. That's its main reason for being there. It's nice damage and it's reasonably small cooldown. Blade Wall is the core of the blue/yellow line champion, and Raging Blade, now that I'm high enough level, I can fit in another AoE. The two blade attacks, harmful, the Blade Wall and Raging Blade, have the extra advantage, and the reason why I went down yellow line, not just to get the extra damage from Raging Blade, not just to get the extra fervor and drop in Battle Frenzy cooldown, but also to get this, the Blade of Courage, which gives the on every blade skill. So I've got two, Blade Wall every 4 seconds and Raging Blade every 10 seconds. So every 4 seconds I have a 20% chance to restore 5 max morale. So that's about a 1 in 5 chance of 5 morale, so about 1 morale per attack. So every 4 seconds I get about 1 morale on average. But I've also got some bypassing of enemies' mitigations, so I've got a fair chance of getting through mitts as well. So that's you could go down the red line, but to get the extra AoE, to improve Blade Wall, to get the extra fervor, and to get the ability to get some morale back, these ones only do it when you actually get killer target, so that's not really all that useful when there's usually only one target. So I've gone down yellow line, and as I said, I didn't do Sweeping Repose, but I am looking at filling these out and getting to Adamant, to Unbreakable as soon as possible. Even though it's got a 2-minute cooldown, it's definitely something I want to pop on the need. So let's go and have a little bit more. Let's go and find something else. I've got to find some more lavender. And then we'll get into some more battles as we go and pick these things up. I've had to pretty much move everything off my toolbar. In fact, I might even go a little bit further and move the horn down to there, because I do need the horn whenever possible. Now, where's this lavender? There it is. And having done a little bit of this, I'll actually go and see if I can pick up another battle, just to go through the sequence, and I'll actually read out the sequence as I do it. Let's see, we need some Vale flies and some biting gnats. Haven't done any Vale flies yet. There's a badger. Badger doesn't actually progress anything. There's a Vale fly. Okay, let's start off with the Vale fly. So, Battle Frenzy to start off with. Okay, I definitely want the best food that I can get my hands on. At level 121, I will get a number of things upgrading, but Battle Frenzy, Sudden Defense. Just wait for that to be almost ready. Go into attack. Battle Frenzy, Adamant, Horn. We'll go for that. I've got some injuries which I have to get rid of. Dire need is necessary. Sudden Defense can come back in again. Give myself a pop. Go through the main attacking stuff. Bracing attack, thank you very much. Horn of Gondor. Sound like a racing car driver. Alt F1 to get some healing back. Horn, bracing attack. Get rid of the injury. And there we have it. That's another one. Definitely not easy. Okay. I will leave it here. I've got some, there's a horn, so that's level 120 normal, so that shouldn't be too bad. But I will leave it here, and I will continue this in the next video. But thank you everyone for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye all.